If you're saying there's a museum that's keeping everything, there's loads of other books for that. Who's looking at the fella whose skulls fell off?
What?
We see. It's interesting, isn't it?
What do you mean the fellow whose skulls fell off?
Well, that's what happened the other week, so I wrote about it.
What?
A fella's skull has fell off.
What do you mean his skull has fell off?
It's something to do with circulation.
But what do you mean his skull fell
Well,
off?
it's in the diary.
But how can a skull fall off? Because it's surrounded by tissue and it's got a brain. How can just his skull? How can it detach itself from all the stuff surrounding
He
it?
mislaid all his dreams.
But all I'm saying is that's not getting a look in.
No, because it's not significant or probably true.
Good point, Steve.
I don't.
All right.
know
Well,
what's
let me
anything
just.
based on.
I'll just consult the diary quickly and find the moment with the man whose skull fell off. Oh, here we are. Yeah. Looks like the world's fattest man is having an operation to get rid of some of the fat.
Yeah.
He has to have an iron bed because that's the only thing that can hold his weight.
Yeah.
There's also a man whose skull has fell out. He's in hospital somewhere. I hate that. It would make me panic. The hospital is busy with people coming in to look at their head.
What are you talking about there? That tells us nothing. Right, it's impossible for a skull to fall out.
How are scholars in 10,000 years going to be... What are they going to decipher from that?
They can sort of go.
There's not enough incident detail.
But how did his skull fall out?
Circulation problems.
But answer the question. How did his skull fall out? Fall out of what?
He was at home, and I don't know if he was combing his hair or something, but it come off.
What did?
His skull.
What do you mean, his skull? Do you know what the skull is?
It's a part of the head.
Well, no, it's the structure of the head. It's the bone. Do you mean the top of the skull?
This is only useful if you have all the salient facts. Then it would be of interest to us. We could.
Well, I couldn't take that on. I'm busy. I'm not going to start looking into stuff in depth. Just get the details.
God. You're such an idiot. You are the best, idiot in the world.
Well, I don't want to be premature, but that entry is followed by, I injured my toe the other day by dropping the toaster. Instead of letting it hit the floor, I tried to catch it with my foot. I didn't think I'd done any harm, but my nail looks like it could fall off. I might show it to the doctor when I get me kidney stones out. We could easily get by without nails on the feet. They are more trouble than there were.
You're so wrong. You're so wrong.
I think on the days when cavemen without shoes and animals need nails, I don't think we need them now. I honestly... Because you hear about ingrowing toenails, right? So that's a problem. You've got to cut them. Stuff gets under there and gets infected. Get rid of them, you won't have any of that. As long as you wear shoes.
No, you'd have unprotected toes and fingers, wouldn't you?
I didn't say on the fingers, just on the toes.
So why do you need them on the fingers and not the toes?
Because you use your hands to do stuff. I've said about toenail out, it'd be good to have it growing on the head.
What?
Just having like a sheet of it, just like a nail on the forehead. It wouldn't look weird because we'd all have it. I'm not saying.
What are you talking about now?
I'm just saying I don't want to go on about evolution and stuff because we've done it all.
What do you think the skull is for?
No, but I mean on the outside, so that when you bang your head, it's a little bit more protection. Like people. I mean, you're looking at me like that. Why'd you wear a helmet on a bike then?
Because the bike wasn't meant to be invented. We weren't meant to whiz along at 70 miles an hour with evolution.
I know, but because life's changing, like you've said.
But you can't go, let's evolve, let's re-evolve.
Okay, let's assume we've got this nail on our head that's growing out of our forehead.
So we look like one big thumb.
Yeah. Which weirdly, Carl kind of... I mean, you can almost imagine it looking at Carl now. You can imagine a big nail there. Does the nail continue to grow? Do we have to trim the head nail?
Yeah, in the same way you get a haircut.
Why is that preferable in your mind to just wearing a crash helmet in instances where you might have something hit your head?
Just because, for a start, helmets, you have to carry them around with you. That's one thing that's put me off having a motorbike. Whenever you see someone on a motorbike, it's all like the clothes you've got to wear. And it's like a big upheaval, isn't it? It's you know, if you have a car, you can get in with your shorts on, your flip-flops on. A motorbike, it's like you're an astronaut or something, and you're only nipping down the road for some milk. Do you know what I mean? So, what I'm saying is get rid
But does it annoy you having to put shoes on every day, and underpants, and a vest, and I don't know...
No, but once they're on, I'm not carrying them. They're on me. If I had to then take the shorts off for whatever reason and walk around holding them, I'd go, I can't be bothered. I don't like holding a bag. I don't like bags. We carry too much around with us now. I don't like carrying stuff. It's just a hassle, isn't it?
It's just endless things he doesn't want to do, doesn't like doing. It's like carrying bags. Who the hell has a gripe about carrying bags? Why is that a concern?
Because it's stuff that's on you.
I love the way that he wouldn't mind having a nail going out of his fucking head, but he doesn't want to carry a bag.
What's good with it is everybody's got one of these.
But it's not going to happen, Carl.
And the most important thing in your body, apart from the heart, is your brain. So protect that, not the toes. The toes we can get by without the toes.
People.
But your head's important, isn't it? There's a lot of stuff in your head. And I know all this just after seeing the Bodyworks thing. I went to see it's a show on where there's a load of like dead bodies and that. And you can see how much stuff's in the body. And there's loads of stuff. There's nothing in there that you don't need. It's all doing stuff. Everything in your body.
We've been telling you that for years.
But you reckon you don't need the toenails?
Yeah, that's on the outside. I'm saying everything that's on the inside of your body, right?
You don't need the appendix.
No, but doesn't that depend on what lifestyle you have?
Well, it's a hangover of when we probably ate a lot more cellulose, and it's.
Yeah, well, they might come back. Things are always coming back, aren't they? So if people start eating them again.
What about male nipples?
Sort of looks all right though, doesn't it? Because the chest is quite plain, so with nothing on it, you'd go, oh, "What's this?" It just balances it out. I think it looks all right. I think it works. So leave it. But what were we talking about?
But wouldn't you rather have maybe a little like a rib cage around the testicles? Because you get a whack in them and it. Oh.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Not an invention, Carl. It's not an invention, and we can't do it. But
would you be able to sit down still? Because that's the good thing with them at the moment is movement. So it sort of works. But don't they say they said something about testicles at the Bodyworks thing?
Well, they're on the outside.
Put yours away, Carl. You're not one of the exhibits.
They're on the outside because they have to be a few degrees below body temperature for the Sertoli cells to
so
work.
that's an odd design that they had to go there because it is it's a bit of an odd place to have them.
Where would you suggest? Dangling from the throat?
Sort of.
I want to redesign you, right? You can possibly do this now. This is something you can actually do, probably. You could probably have your testicles anywhere. So where would you want them?
You've got a giant forehead nail.
Yeah. You could have that. It probably wouldn't grow, but we could certainly have that.
I just mean like, because if all it's about is temperature, you don't want to get them too hot.
Yeah.
Well, they're getting hot down there because you're wearing pants and what have you. So have them nearer to the outside of the body.
Well, they are on the outside of the body.
No, but we wear pants over them.
So you wear pants over them because they're testicles, and polite society suggests that you don't show your testicles.
Yeah, well, that's the odd thing, isn't it? That's what's happened somehow. That we've said testicles shouldn't be seen.
Well, then just put a hole in your trousers. If it's only about keeping them cool, and because they're too hot, why don't you just hang them out your shorts?
Because there's too many sort of seats that are shared these days, isn't there? But what I'm saying is,
well, what are you saying?
Where would you put them?
Somewhere like sort of under the ears, so it sort of just looks like lobes.
So you would redesign your body to have a pair of testicles hanging from your ears.
And when people are sometimes talking, they do sort of mess with their ears, and they're always saying check for lumps. More handy.
Does the penis remain where it is at the moment?
Leave that where it is. Yeah.
Well, I don't know about you, Rick, but I would love to see, perhaps on the web, it's very easy to put stuff on web pages now, some kind of illustration, could be computer generated, could be drawn by hand, of the new model Carl. Bear in mind, people, that he's got some testicles underneath his ears.
And a big thumbnail on his forehead.
Big thumbnail on his forehead.
Talking to Carl, I want to see Carl's head everywhere. It's the roundness that I like, okay? So do a viral campaign. Anyone out there with a picture of Carl, just get it everywhere. Because I want, eventually, everyone to, as they walk past him in the street, to shout, "You shaved monkey," or "Look at that bald head," or "Look at fucking coconut face coming this way. You got a head like a fucking orange."
So we get onto conversations. He's talking he's asking me stuff about evolution. Tell me that. Why the giraffe? What's that rubbish about the giraffe getting a long neck? I said, well, it didn't try and get a long neck. It was selected, and he said, but Why would evolution do that? I went, well, you think that evolution didn't do anything. There's not this consciousness, there's not this will that a giraffe has to stretch its neck to reach the leaves. One had a long enough neck to survive and pass it in. He was going, yeah, but why did evolution... this isn't. But by the way, this isn't the most stupid thing. This is warming up. This is about 8:45, right? He said, "Why didn't evolution make a giraffe good at carpentry so it could build a ladder?"
Right. Yeah. Okay. No. All right.
Okay. So he's thinking around it. He's trying to pick holes in evolution.
Yeah.
We get on to, I said, well, things that I said, we can see the speed of evolution in lower life forms like bacteria, viruses, they evolved, and that's why, soon we won't have an antibiotic that can kill some certain bacterial strains. And he said, and this was about, 11:30, and I said, I'm going to bed, right? He said, in the future, they reckon that you'll be able to wake up and eat a yogurt you can have a chat with.
I don't know what that means.
Let's put a song on, right? And we'll come back to it.
So you're going to explain that?
Yeah.
You've got an explanation.
He said, they reckon, and I said I'm going to bed, he went, no, really, I said, no, I'm going to bed, Carl, there's no point now, because, I mean, it's just like, you're talking gobbledygook, you know what I mean? I might as well talk to a pot plant.
Yeah.
He said, in the future, they reckon, I don't know who they are,
Sure.
I don't know, people who post things on the internet that he reads, I think.
Telegraph.
Anyway, complete the sentence.
They reckon that in the future you'll be able to wake up. I love it. There's always a little scenario, an embellishment, like this little. Oh, hello, darling. It's your yogurt. Hello. You'll be able to wake up and eat a yogurt you can have a chat with.
All right. Well, you know, thanks for that, Rick. I'm looking at you. I'm going to throw that over to Carl.
Right. It's when I was away on holiday, right? I got. I don't normally buy the Telegraph because it's too big and that, isn't it? So, but, they were giving it away for free on the plane, so I thought...
Ding dong.
Might as well have it. And I saw a couple of things in it, and I thought that would be interesting. I saw this thing about the future, and it was talking about evolution and what have you, right, which I always find weird, because I always think that maybe we've sort of done it wrong anyway. Do you know what I mean? I sometimes think...
You can't evolve... By definition, evolution can't get things wrong. Things change, that it's not successful, it can't pass on its genetic material, or but if you're around, it's working. If you're around, it's working. Slugs are as evolved as they need to be. Slugs are as evolved as you and
well,
me.
that's true enough.
Yeah. No disrespect, but it works. It works.
Sorry,
they're around.
Anyway, what's your point, Carl?
No, I mean, I think we probably would have been better off staying as a fish. Just because there's more water than land, isn't there?
Right.
And you wouldn't drown.
This is why I went to bed.
No, I can imagine. I'm thinking of dozing off now.
No, but do you know what I mean? From, what was it? It was bacteria, it was fish, mermaid, man, onwards and what have you. So anyway.
Oh God! No, there are a few knowledge gaps in your theory of evolution.
You generally got it right though, so yeah.
I mean, basically, yeah, it went bacteria, fish, mermaid, man. So what's next is the big question.
So it was telling you all about this and what have you, and saying how, like, we shouldn't have interfered, because maybe if we wouldn't have invented planes and what have you, maybe we'd be able to fly and what have you, if we really needed to and stuff like that.
Okay.
So we've interfered with evolution, you see.
Right.
But then it was saying, well, what's the future got?
Well, yes, in one way we have interfered with evolution, yeah. The evolution of the human being in society is changing. It's no longer based on the strongest or the fittest, because medical science can keep us alive long enough. People can, pass on their genetic material where, without this civilization, they wouldn't have been able to. So, yeah, there are different parameters, there are different pressures, there are different things that say whether we're going to pass on our genetic material or not. Okay? So in that sense, you're right.
And that, Rick, as far as I'm aware, has led to a yogurt that you can eat and have a conversation with. So
this is what it was saying. It was just saying, you know, we're living in mad times and that. You know, there's a lot of weird stuff going on.
One of which is...
Go on.
And the fellow was just saying, you know, with computers and stuff like that, the way it is, we'll be able to wake up...
Go on.
Have a chat with your yogurt and have something to eat.
What do you mean, have a chat with your yogurt?
Because of the amount of... I mean, you have them yogurts already, those friendly yogurts. Those bacteria-friendly ones, so this is just a really friendly one.
Yeah, they don't... Oh God! I might burst! Do you know what, sometimes, Carl, I think that we're having a chat with a yogurt. Do you know what I mean? There can't be any difference.
Yeah, but then I'm always reminded that would be more entertaining. That would be more informative. read on the internet that heads are bigger now than they were years ago. Brains are getting bigger, apparently. This is because we're being told too much information. We are told too much stuff about things that we wouldn't have known about years ago. You've just made that leap, haven't you? Presume maybe heads and brains are getting larger, but the fact that it's because there's too much information cramming in them. Where
well,
have you
it
got
is
that from?
as time goes on, isn't it? It's that thing of we're being taught more and more every day. As the time goes on, something's happening every day. You've got to remember that.
No, you haven't.
You have. It's the same, like I said, you know, with the Adam and Eve thing. They didn't have that much to remember. They come on the world, they go, what happened yesterday? Oh, not much.
The headline is this: female kidney turns lumberjack onto housework.
Right.
Now, a Croatian lumberjack apparently has claimed that he started enjoying housework and knitting after he was given a female kidney. He claims he's going to sue his local health authority because he says he's become a laughingstock. He used to enjoy heavy drinking sessions and things. The kidney transplant saved his life, but they never warned me about the side effects. I've developed a strange passion for female jobs, like ironing, sewing, washing dishes, sorting clothes in wardrobes, and even knitting.
Well, if he likes it, what's the problem? It's nonsense. It's nonsense. Hold on, though. What makes me laugh is he's become a laughingstock. So what do you do when you become a laughingstock? Tell the newspapers.
Well, yeah.
Tell the newspapers about it, because then that'd keep it completely under wraps. Then.
But it's the sort of medical nonsense that Carl would normally come out with.
Absolutely. That you know, you take on the personality of the person who gave you their blood.
Exactly. It's like those old horror stories, you know, you get given a murderer's hand.
Yeah.
And you go around killing.
But there can be certain medical things that would change the way you think and would change you as a person. Say, like how they can do face transplants now.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I don't quite understand how this face transplants work, because do you get a choice of who you have? If you have something done to your face and you go, you know, it's burnt or whatever, or something happens to you and you need a face transplant.
Well, if you totally changed your appearance, then you would eventually change because of how people reacted to you.
Yeah, but
so if you gave yourself the head of an elephant, soon you wouldn't be yourself.
But I
because
wouldn't have it. I wouldn't have that. That's what I'm saying. If they had a catalogue and they said, here's some faces you can have, pick which one you want.
Yeah.
Would you be looked upon badly if you go, do you know what? I don't really like the look of any of them. Can I just wait for a better face? Or at this moment in time, have you just got to take what's on offer?
Carl, there's no one looking through catalogues at faces they might be able to have in
No,
the
they
face
do now because of the face transplant thing.
But who are these people putting their face up for? They wait till someone.
Yeah, I know, but at some point... Well, I tell you what, I would not have a face transplant if I haven't seen the face before I'm going to have it.
You had to.
I want to see what I'm having. Because I could end up with anything. You mentioned elephant's head. What do you know what I mean? Whose head are they going to use? Is it the latest thing that's died? Oh, well, this got run over before. Yeah, I'll stick this on your head.
But where has this come from? Where
From
are
his
these
mind.
people? Where are these faces queuing up to be popped on a skull? Where do you think they have got time to put all these?
Maybe this is why it won't catch on. I don't know.
This is extraordinary. You've created in your own head the existence of this pamphlet, and now you're defending it, even though we don't know it even exists.
And you're this skull on a hospital bed going, I'm not having that. I don't like the look of him. He looks a bit shifty. Oh, I don't like that. Oh no.
Can I ask this now? Let's say we'd passed away sadly in something terribly tragic. The nation's mourned. You know, it's terrible. It's like one of the great national disasters. But you, at the same time, you survived the accident, okay, but your face is hideously disfigured. You can take either Ricky's face or mine to have.
I'm surprised you're asking this, though, Steve. I mean, it's just, it doesn't seem like any of them is like a great option.
Oh, thanks.
And this is what I'm saying about the catalogue. If those two were on offer, I might go, do you know what? Pop in again tomorrow. Bring in another booklet.
Stroking a spider can cause its hair to fall out.
What? Because it doesn't like it and it gets stressed out, or is it just that some people are rubbing too hard?
No, I don't think it's they're rubbing too hard. I think it's something to do with it.
I mean, what sort of maniac is stroking a spider anyway?
My mum did it once.
Really?
Yeah, not to a spider.
Right.
It was just a little bee. She'd been out, sunny day and that. Got the washing off the washing line. She was bringing it in. Little bee sat on the top of like the bed sheet or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And she's in the kitchen with it, and she goes, "Look at that." little bee there. She started sort of stroking its head. And it loved it.
How did it make it clear that it loved it?
Well, it wasn't struggling. It was just sat there like, because it must have been like a bit dozy. They get a bit dozy, don't they, in the heat and that. And he just stayed there on the sheet, and she sort of stroked its head for a bit. And she had to put it out. It didn't go out. It didn't try and escape. It was like, you've had enough now. That was that. She sent it out. She loved all that. She loved little flies and stuff. And we had Harry the housefly.
What?
Harry the housefly.
What do you mean?
It's just a fly that always seems to knock about in one corner of the room.
Right, it's the same fly, was it?
Yeah, it was the same fly. Yeah.
How do you know it was the same fly? So whenever she saw a fly, she went, oh, look, it's back.
Well, we weren't letting him in. It's just that it stayed in.
Carl, what makes you think it was a pet housefly as opposed to a different fly every day?
Because it was always in the same place in the corner.
But it could have been that something about that particular place that attracted flies rather than it was the same fly.
Well, I'm never worried about it. It wasn't harming us. It just always hung about.
But how do you know it was the same fly? How do you
I don't
recognise
know.
it?
We weren't worried about it. It doesn't matter, does it? If like we're thinking another fly's getting a bit of free rent or something, just let it stay. I don't understand what.
But why no? Well, no, right, okay. You're in a house, right? There's flies, okay.
Not flies, fly.
Why do you think it was the same fly for all those years?
Just because we haven't got loads of other flies. At no point was there a crossover period where there's two, and it's like, hang on a minute, he's trying it on here. That's what I mean. It was always just one on its own. And we just thought, leave it, it's alright. I don't know why are you suspicious? Why you always think someone's out to do you?
No, I'm not. I don't know why you assumed when you see a fly every now and again that it's exactly the same fly.
It just
fact that
was.
it's Harry.
The one in our house was the same one.
How do you know?
Well, alright, I don't, but at no point did I feel suspicious. Speaking of flies, though, and that, they've got one, right? I was out with Ricky, right, and he was reading the paper. There was a story there about a fly that its eyesight was bad or something, and they've made it a pair of glasses, and it had a picture of a housefly wearing...
Okay, this is incredible,
glasses.
Steve. Can I take over?
Hang on, let me just need to finish a couple of questions for that. So there's a small fly and they've made it a pair of glasses.
Yeah.
So that it can see better.
Yeah.
And your concern is what?
Well, again, it's just that thing of we're looking after everything now, aren't we?
Sorry, I've got to come in here, Steve.
All right.
I showed you the
You
story.
saw it, you saw
It was
it.
a picture of a housefly with a pair of glasses
on. Yeah.
Right. It was about a one-sentence thing. It was about how far technology's come,
Yeah,
and
and
a
we're
group
helping
of
flies
scientists
out.
using microscopy, right, and laser tools had, as an exhibition, shown that they could make a pair of glasses smaller to put on a hat. They put it on there and they've taken a picture of it, and it's on as a display. At no point was it actually, because the fly had bad eyesight, the fly was presumably dead, it was purely an art installation, or a show of technology.
I thought you were going to say, Rick, that you'd drawn the glasses on there.
Yeah.
And he believed it like, there's a bearded lady in this paper. No. My God, Tony Blair looks like Adolf Hitler. No.
What do you think of that, though?
But they did
Well,
it as an
flies out.
experiment.
Yeah, but all things start as an
But
experiment.
why would they make a pair of glasses for a fly?
How would they know he had a bad eyesight?
How would they know it was the same fly?
bumping into stuff? I don't know.
Bumping into stuff.
But
No.
why would they bother making glasses for it?
And they've got a compound eye. They'd have to make about 1,000 pairs of glasses for a fly.
It's just that thing, innit, of human nature is something's wrong with something, let's fix it. And they try and help people out all the time, don't they? When you know, we're always doing it. We're always trying to help people out instead of just going, you've been dealt a duff card, cope with it. They're always fiddling, always fiddle about. It's like that bit about what was it? See, this is technology going mad and that. They're doing operations on people, right? And instead of injecting you with stuff that knocks you out, they're going to hypnotise you, and they operate on you when you're hypnotised, but you're still awake, so you sat there awake, you're aware of what's going on around you, but you can't feel anything because someone's hypnotised you. Why are we messing about with that when there's nothing wrong with the injection?
Well, there are. I mean, it's not healthy to constantly give someone
Very
anesthetics.
dangerous.
Yeah,
Very
but
dangerous
you've
time.
just said it yourself there, constantly. If
Yes,
you
but if you
keep
do
coming in
multiple
having stuff
operations
done,
on someone-
don't be doing multiple operations.
Well, sometimes you need to.
Why?
Because of
Knackered,
whatever the
forget
complaint
it.
may be.
Yeah, but no, not multiple. Give them 1 or 2 max. After 2, it's like, enough's enough. We've operated on you, we fixed that. We're not fixing anymore because it's just there's gonna be something else wrong with you. Because you're getting old. Like the world. Get on with it. That's what I'm saying. Stop sort of ploughing stuff into it. Like I've said before about a car. You know, the gearbox has gone. Alright, we'll replace it. Oh, exhaust. Well, alright, we'll put an exhaust on it. Oh, the oil filter. Forget it. Came up with a good idea.
We'll be the judge of that.
I'll do it now. It's not a good idea.
Okay.
Okay. I'm sticking my neck out here. I think this isn't going to be a good idea.
Okay.
Thoughts?
Well, I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to second that motion.
Okay, let's see if we're both right.
See-through skin.
High five, Rick!
The world's oldest tortoise, a 250-year-old tortoise, died last week.
Yeah.
Did it?
Yeah, in a zoo in India. 250 years old.
So would that have had that thing that they say about how you get a flashback of your life?
You mean your life flashes before your eyes?
Yeah, they say, don't they? Just like on your last breath or whatever. You like see you coming out of the womb and everything.
Well, one, I don't believe that's true. I don't believe your life flashes before you. I don't know what evidence we've got. People who die say, you never guess what's happening.
No, but there's loads of things that have happened where people go, oh, that's weird. That goes to show that we've been around before, or
No, it doesn't. There's none. I have no evidence for that. Of
well,
reincarnation.
I told you that time when it happened to me when I was younger.
Go on.
Your life flashed before your eyes?
Well, it wasn't like a flashback, but it was it's the next thing next to flashbacks. It was I was having a bath, right, and my mum had like run the bath and that, and she said, "Is that too warm?" And I said something like, "No, it's all right. It's a lot better than when I used to have a bath in that wooden bath in front of the fire."
Okay.
And she was like, "What?" And I said, it happened years ago. And she was a bit like, "Oh." And I can't remember that now, but she talks about it, and that just goes to show that, because I was at an age when I wouldn't have known about wooden baths years ago in front of fires.
No, but you talk rubbish now. So all you were doing, you were talking rubbish from an early age. Where's the problem?
No, but you can only talk rubbish if you're aware of knowledge.
Well,
I didn't know about wooden baths, so
You
why
don't-
would I have
But
invented
Carl,
that?
we've only got your mother's word on this, and she thought you might one day be a doctor.
Yeah.
So,
She put a rock with a feather on it to keep a parrot company.
lest we forget.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
Well, it's all bollocks.
So have you researched this? You've tried to find out when little Carl Mark I and his wooden bath, when he was
No, I
around?
don't want to go there, because that's when you start digging out all sorts
It's
of trouble,
rubbish.
innit?
It's rubbish.
No, it's not rubbish.
Well, it is
what
rubbish.
sort of stuff might
There's
you
no
discover?
scientific evidence.
No,
but
just like I've said about family trees and that. Don't be looking at them, because you're only going to find stuff you don't really want to know about. It's the same as that, innit? Leave it, let it be. Do you know what I mean? If your granddad was Einstein, you'd know about it because your family would be shouting about it. If he was a bad un, you'd go, oh, keep that quiet. So don't look at family trees, and it's the same. Don't be looking back in your past lives,
there's
because
no
God knows
past
what you've
lives.
been up to. Well,
Carl and the wooden bath. Proof. If
Carl
proof be needed.
Pilkington, live on air, talking shit again.
but this tortoise. So if that's
And also, its flashbacks would just be, the same wall. I mean, it basically spent, I don't know how many years, in a cage. It was in the zoo, so, it died of liver failure. Which is a problem if you're a tortoise, because with us, they can cut you open and have a look at the liver. With that, it's going, forget it, we're not getting in there. It's like you when you didn't want the plumbers to knock through the tiles to check out the piping. It's around with the tortoise. If it's a liver, we're not going through that. It's not worth it. If it's your head or your feet, we'll have a look, mate. But we're not looking at internal organs with a giant tortoise.
why not?
'Cause, what do you mean?
Well,
How do they
can't you drill into those things? It is only a shell. That is easier to replace than skin.
Carl, I was joking. You can't do a liver operation on a tortoise.
Why not? It's got all the same parts, hasn't it? All the same body parts and that.
Well, I think that's the point. Well, not really, but yeah, it's
But
loosely
better
speaking.
ones in a way, because they live longer. So they're doing something right. Aren't they?
Right.
If they can live 250 odd years, our art can't do that. Which is what I say about our tortoise has got it right in a way, that it's taking its time on everything. We're rushing about, getting stressed out. That's just, you know, getting on with it. It's not rushing. It eats healthy, doesn't it? It eats lettuce and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's probably doing it right, but to be honest, it's too much. I wouldn't want to live 250 years.
Just eating lettuce. Let's not forget that all a tortoise does is eat lettuce. It's not like it's jet skiing weekends and then getting its lettuce on a Monday. That's all it does is eat lettuce.
Yeah.
And that appeals to you, does it?
No, I'm just saying that it must be doing something right, though.
Of course it's doing something right.
Because it's living 250 years.
But all animals do something right, however long they live. Mayflies live a day, but they're doing something right.
Well, they're not, are they? They haven't got a chance to learn how to do it right, and then they're dead. It's, you know, that's from one extreme to another, isn't it? That just seems a bit mental to me, that living a day. I wouldn't bother, so forget it. Could you be bothered? You don't, just as you get to know someone.
Yeah, another mayfly.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, if we had that, if that's how we lived our lives, you wouldn't have a chance to make a mark or anything, would you? It's just...
Would you try and pack a lot in that day? Disneyland, whatever.
No, I prefer to make it miserable, so I don't miss it. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, Oasis. The Hindu Times. Carl just did his little screen test down the lens, and he went. I said, "Just look at the camera." He went, "Right. Do you want to know about MTV?" She went, "Well, it might be VH1." He went, "Right." It did Rockbusters. Then after the break, some Genesis.
I'd watch it.
You didn't tell me she wanted all this. I thought you said, because I said you just bring your own camera in and we'll put it down on some tape and pass that on to her.
Yeah.
So now, I'm doing 2 jobs at once again. This is what I'm saying to you in the week. I'm juggling jobs all the time. I tell you.
Right, come on then.
How much do I get?
He looked straight at the camera and said that.
Right. So, 3 stories. Don't rub it too hard, you'll get a rasher. Enough is anus. And
we'll have that one then.
That one.
Yeah. Richard Ashcroft, Science of Silence on XFM 104.9. I love that.
Yes, correct.
He's one of my favourite artists now. I just think, I don't know why he's not ballistic. He's got everything. He's like one of our best rock stars. I'm Ricky Gervais.
Hello there.
You're Steve Merchant.
I am indeed.
Carl Pilkington over there. Big day today.
Really?
Yeah, for Carl. He hasn't been looking forward to it. He's been whinging in the week. A couple of things. He thinks he's overworked. He thinks he's overworked here, and he's stressed, and he's got to do DIY. MTV are coming in, right, to give him the chance of his a lifetime to do just a little screen test, and he's going, well, I'm not going to look good, am I? They're not going to know why. He said, well, I've got a round head and I'll be wearing headphones. And he's not made an effort. He thinks, oh, they'll put him off. He said, they won't even press record. He's got a spot on his head. I mean, you know,
Carl,
also...
you're not looking forward to it. You're not excited about it. It's a great opportunity.
Why is it a great opportunity?
To get on MTV?
No, but
It's money for old rope.
Yeah, but look what's happened to people like, Jeremy Speak, whatever his name is and all
Jeremy
that.
Spake, yeah.
Yeah, and,
yeah, slightly different.
Why is it?
Well...
See?
You're making it in the industry, and you've got something to give. He happened to be around when they were filming an airport.
Well,
Do you see the difference?
Alright, the other one then, who's on a boat.
Same thing,
she's
although at
doing
least she had a
incredibly well.
skill. She had a skill, you know, she can sing, you know.
Well, it's just, I think it can all go wrong, do you know what I mean?
Of course it can. So can sitting in your little room moaning about nothing happening in the world. You know, he wanted to stop educating Ricky, because nothing had happened. He said, look what happened last week. I scoured the net, he said, all I found was a dog in a car wash and a parrot and a vicar. Right?
I'll tell you what, there ain't much more going on this week.
We're talking listen, me and Steve, yesterday, we took a day off to prove you wrong, and we've come up with 2 of the most incredible things I told you about, and they're amazing. So there are things out there, or but just go for truth. Go for truth and science and discovery. Fact is stranger than fiction. You don't have to revert to sort of like God and ghosts.
I know, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But the funny thing is, you know, like, last couple of weeks I've been saying there's not much going on.
Yeah.
I found out when I was looking that there was a day in 1930, right? It was a Good Friday, there was no news, there was nothing going on, they had to put a music video on or something, on the telly. because there was nothing going on.
Play a record. We're going to play some classic tracks today. This is Debaser. Pixies, Debaser. I was looking forward to playing that. Came and said, Carl, I'll play that. I was looking. He put it on. Lauren just called through and said, we played that in the last half hour.
Embarrassing.
Yeah. So,
It's really
what is the
embarrassing.
point of having a producer if he doesn't check things out? So, I mean, it's a good track. I mean, I'm sorry if you heard that twice in the last hour. Go on,
So
go
what
on, go
am I
on.
meant
What
to
you
do?
gonna say,
Listen to everything all the time. I've been running around. I get in early on a Saturday.
We got in about the same time as me.
I went out and bought you some biscuits, so you're happy. I put the coffee on.
Yeah.
I've sorted what prizes we're going to give away. I've been running to the library getting you certain tracks.
Yeah.
I can't listen all the time. I'm doing my best.
Oh, I'm not sure it's good enough, Tom. I mean, I'm worried when MTV come in, if they've heard this kind of shoddy production, they're gonna start to wonder what
MTV
you're...
Is it-
play the same songs every 5
Yeah, no,
minutes anyway.
sorry, are you sort of overworked because you were on Zoe Ball's show talking?
Oh, hello, what's going on here?
Well,
I
I was
thought
in the-
he was
no, I was in the-
exclusively on our show.
no, I was in the car.
I seem to remember, Rick, he was a nobody
Yeah.
that got a chance to come on air and talk about that.
And guess
so now
what
he's
he was-
getting auditions
guess
with
what,
MTV?
Guess what he was talking about on Zoe's show?
Oh, hello.
All the jellyfish stuff and all that about
Can't
getting
believe it. Recycling
Yeah.
material that you've
Yeah.
done on this show.
I phoned in, right, and I went, stop doing materials. He just hung up on me.
That
Well, I had a
is
job to do.
Who do you think you are? Your
Look,
ego has just gone through
Hang
the
on a
roof.
minute. Hang on a minute.
What?
I had a job to do in the week. They asked me to drive the desk for Zoe, right? They
didn't say talk.
Zoe, if she
Yes.
talks to you, you can't just ignore her.
Yes, you can.
Well, you
Who
can't.
is she? Who does she think she is? You made a promise to us, a pact, that you were our kind of...
Yeah.
Monkey.
Yeah,
What can I do? If someone takes time off, I've got to do it. It's my job.
Yeah, but you don't have
not
to
your
talk,
job.
you don't have to use...
You're the head of production. We've given you this special gig. This is like taking you out weekends.
Yeah,
And the-
exactly.
you know, if we find out you're getting too much excitement in the week, we'll have to just calm it down.
Oh.
Get another little...
Well, that's it now, anyway. It was only last week.
Do you know, I feel like kind of solid. I feel betrayed. It's like you were having an affair behind our back, and you rumbled
He
it.
was doing all the stuff, he was doing all this like, oh yeah, jellyfish and this, jellyfish
Yeah, because
that.
she was asking, and I thought it was a good way of promoting this show, actually.
Oh, did you mention the show?
Yeah, I did at some point.
Did you? What did you say?
I just said more about that on Saturday afternoons.
So you talked twice. I only heard you talk once. So you're talking all the time.
Well, about 5 times in the week. In the full week. 5 times.
Deary
Right.
me.
And one, it was just stuff.
You
that
could
I
never
do.
be a monk, could you? Chatting away all the
Well.
time. Right, what have we got?
I blame Ball as well, to be honest. I feel Ball's slightly responsible for it.
Yeah.
She can't find her own, you know, gibbon to get on the show. She
Yeah.
can't find her own kind of, you know, loser, then don't start stealing ours. They're outrageous.
Well, coming up, right,
Yeah,
we've got
maybe
all-
we'll get Fatboy Slim in.
Indeed.
Next
Yeah.
Saturday, if you're listening, Slim,
Yeah.
come in on the show.
What's his name? Ernie or something?
What's his name?
Norman.
Norman.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Ernie!
Yeah. I don't know.
that's great, Ernie Ball.
Yeah.
He wouldn't change his name.
Cook.
Ernie Cook, that's it, yeah.
Right.
That's great.
Anyway,
Go
coming
on.
up today, we have got Educating Ricky.
Right,
Yeah.
okay. Is this the last one? You've promised it might be.
I believe there's a book out that might help me with this feature, so
Okay.
we'll see how it goes. I was thinking of new features in the week. I've got, what did I come up with? I wanted to do Celebrity Fact Club.
Celebrity Fact Club. Alright.
That's, I've just got to get some celebrities in first, before we can kick that off, so maybe in the new year.
Ball and
Maybe
Cook.
Zoe Ball, yeah.
Ball and Cook.
Yeah,
Start
yeah,
off.
Maybe, right? And I've also got,
Cook and Ball stories.
Yeah. That's nice.
good one.
Cheers. Thanks, Carl.
Maybe you could sell that to Zoe's show.
And, I'm also thinking Through the Ricky Hole.
Through the Ricky hole. Okay.
What's that?
That's, I'm quite...
No, you just got the title again, haven't you? Yeah. Okay, play record.
So, Rockbuster's coming up as well.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Wu-Tang Clan, Gravel Pit on XFM 104.9.
We're playing some great music today.
Yeah,
Rick. I
but-
wonder if we should maybe, you know, it's getting towards Christmas to think about this. Should we dedicate the show to all the people in the world who maybe are less privileged and less fortunate than us?
No.
No? Okay.
Have you, do the prizes for the,
Prizes? Okay. Alright, so screw those who are less fortunate, is what TV's Ricky Gervais thinks. Rick, I know you're a big fan, of the likes of Bryan Adams, Robert Palmer, Alien Ant Farm, and, obviously, ZZ Top.
Yeah.
And so you'll be enjoying the best air guitar album in the world
Brilliant.
ever, Volume 2.
Yeah, sure.
Fantastic.
Well, volume 1 wasn't enough. There wasn't
No,
enough.
exactly. Again, we've seemed to be able to give one of these away every week. Are you just not sending these out? I mean, these are the same prizes we started this game with, I think, a couple of weeks back. Are you just not sending the prizes out?
Yeah, but I want to give, like, more people a chance, because if one week they listen in and think, God, I wouldn't mind winning that,
Sure.
if you've got more copies of it, they'll go, well, I'll listen next week.
Okay.
Yeah?
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So again, this is one of those the best songs you've heard on an advert ever albums.
Mainly mobile phones?
Mainly mobile phone adverts, yeah. Although there is the Smash Mouth one, which was used in the Ford Fiesta TV.
Oh, yeah. Walking on the sun or something.
I forget what it was. The Smashing Pumpkins album that we've given away in the past again.
Yeah.
I've got a bulk order of those that can't shift them. Wild Weather. I don't know who's interested in this. This
What,
is
is that a double box set VHS of different weather? That's amazing.
Yeah, there's
That is
two
amazing.
cassette tapes there. It's presented
How long
by
is that?
Donna McIntyre. It's a thrilling trip with the most exciting forces of our wild and turbulent world.
So I'm
Clouds,
right in saying
weather, storms.
it's a double VHS
Stuff like
video
tornadoes
set
and that.
of different weather.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Yeah, no, it's got, I mean, it includes the fastest winds, the
Oh,
hottest
you're
desert,
joking.
and the biggest rain machine on the planet. That's on there, I think you have to...
God. I wonder if I hope they're bringing out another box set, Soil.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just goes through different mud.
And this you may be of interest. I've read good reviews of the DVD of this. It's a 2-disc set. The Wicker Man, the classic
right, a
70s
great
film, but
yeah.
it's got a bunch of extras
That
in
is
there.
actually quite a
that's
good
actually
film.
worth having. I would probably throw the rest away.
But
or
the
palm
Wicker
it
Man,
off
get
on
it on
someone at
DVD,
Christmas.
and it's quite very interesting.
Yeah, but you'll enjoy that. So,
So
there's some
this
prizes.
Rockbusters, is it?
Yeah. Oh, that's for Rockbusters.
Brilliant. Well, I say get the ball rolling now.
What, of Rockbusters?
Yeah, get the ball
I don't
rolling.
know, I mean, tease them, Rick. Don't sort of spunk all the good stuff early on. I mean,
Well,
that's dynamite.
you can say spunk, I can't. Go on.
Well, we've got, actually, it's quite good moving it about, because we might have some new listeners here.
Yeah.
I
And
wouldn't have thought so.
Yeah. Not after last week.
No.
Right, okay, so if you haven't heard it before, I'll give you some initials. It's like initials of an artist or of a
It's
band.
Blockbusters.
And a cryptic clue to who the band is. There's 2 easy ones, 1 difficult one. First one is, That'll Never Get Off the Ground.
Right.
Yeah?
That'll never get off the ground. The
That'll
initial?
Never Get Off the Ground is the clue.
Not
and
LZ.
The initials are LZ.
You are joking.
2 easy ones.
Right.
Yeah?
Okay.
Right, and then you've got, that woman's got her husband's gloves and a pair of her own. Right?
Say it again.
That woman has got a pair of her husband's gloves and she's got a pair of her own. That's HH. Right? It's a bit of a difficult one. And then the last one, you'll get a right load of bacon off them. Right?
You'll get what?
A right load of bacon off them. That's L.
L.
Yeah, so, once
You'll
again,
get a
very
right
quickly,
load of bacon off of them.
you'll get a right load of bacon off them. So, first one, That'll Never Get Off the Ground, LZ. That woman has got her husband's gloves and she's got a pair of her own. That's HH.
Brilliant.
And you'll get a right load of bacon off them. That's L.
And it's an
So,
email-only competition.
Email only, ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk, and we pick a winner before the end. So,
And you can
win all that stuff.
Win at Wicker Man.
The weather.
Best of the weather.
The best of the weather. that would be amazing. The best of the weather.
As a compilation, Channel 4.
Exactly.
That would-
Winds light to variable.
I love 1976
Remember this
weather.
one from August 1979?
Oh, warm, isn't it? Oh, this is warm, isn't it? Oh,
The best of the weather.
I'll tell you what. You remember how we always play like great music usually? I'm up
You've
in
not
it.
got another. You've not got another one, have you? You're
Yeah,
not
I'm gonna
that
do it.
again this week, are you?
Yeah. This is David Bowie driving Saturday.
Oh, Infinity again. What? I'm doing the same problem.
I know, beating a biscuit.
Yeah.
David Bowie driving Saturday. That's a great track, isn't it? A crash course for the ravers, eh? That's what this show is, isn't it, Carl? Crash course for the ravers. They tune and they go, wow, that's so cool. I wish I was like Karl Pilkington.
You reckon?
Yeah, definitely. You've got to read your mum's clues out, didn't you?
Yeah,
These are just for fun only. This is Carl's mum. She listened one week and now she sends him a little example of Rockbusters every week.
She's got, what did she send? This group would go well with your Christmas dinner.
Cranberries?
Yeah. They make a few good cupboards.
They make a few good cupboards.
Yeah.
The carpenter.
Carpenters. I was thinking of EMF.
What else?
I was thinking B&Q, the B&Qs.
This group thinks of lots of things.
This group thinks of lots of things.
Yeah.
Go on.
Imagination. I think they're the best ones.
Yeah,
well, if they're the best ones, let's hear the others.
obviously we want the worst ones then.
Here's one more. She'd really like Blackpool.
She'd really like Blackpool. She'd really like Blackpool.
Fairground attraction. Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Right, so, there's,
Does she write anything else in the letter, or does she just send them like on a scrawled on the back of, you know, I don't know, a till receipt?
She did with the first one. Now it's just the Rockbusters.
Right.
Really?
She doesn't bother asking how you are, or
Well, I speak to her in a week on
Right.
the phone, so it
Yeah.
doesn't-
what kind of conversations would you have then with your
What do you
mum? What
say?
sort of stuff?
do you moan about how overworked you are and stuff to her?
I mean, they're always surprised when I'm getting in late and that. It's like, you know, what have you done today? Well, I've just got in from work and it's like 8:30 at night.
A lot of people get home at 8:30, Carl. Next.
You know, just saying how's the flat going. I was
Yeah.
asking my dad some DIY tips the other day. You know, usual sort of stuff you talk with your mum and dad, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking about the Bisons with them. I was
With the
watching, did you watch the Mammals in the week?
Oh,
David Attenborough.
No.
I was thinking actually, right, all this MTV stuff, if there's one reason why I'd like to do it,
Yeah.
is I was watching Attenborough, the Mammals programme. I reckon I could do something like that.
Right.
And just have like me, instead of Attenborough, like a young sort of fresh person,
Yeah.
watching like, certain animals and saying, do we need these? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, God! What's it called? Death on Earth?
Well, just,
That's amazing! Do we need these?
And,
No, 'cause there's loads of
and the
stuff.
audience at home would vote. Would there be some kind of
yeah,
telephone
like a
vote?
vote out system.
Oh,
But the
that-
thing is like,
yeah.
it's something interesting that Attenborough was saying the other night on,
Do we need these?
on Jonathan Ross's show, on his telly show, right? He was saying, he said you could take all the humans off the earth and it would carry on. But take, like, some animals off it, mammals and that, you got problems on your hands. I thought that was quite interesting.
Yeah.
So it's like, the question is, do we need these? Is that part of the big thing?
Right.
Like jellyfish,
Yeah.
we've talked about jellyfish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So which mammals in particular were
You talked about it on
watching
Zoe
that you
Ball
thought-
show, haven't you?
Eh?
Which mammals were you thinking we don't need when you watched the show the other night? Any in particular that you thought they don't need them? They're not of interest.
Well, I like whales, but I don't know what they do. And they're taking up quite a lot of room.
Sure.
But stuff like,
yeah.
but like, jellyfish, I looked into because,
Yeah.
you know,
well,
I was
know you
talking
don't
about
know
them, and they were saying they've got no eyes, no heart, there's something like 97% water,
Yeah.
they're blind, and they do about 33 miles a day.
Right.
So it's like, do we need them? Could we clear them out?
Yeah.
Yeah. What? A big net.
That would be the programme. What? Right, we'll get rid of them. Next week we'll be looking at
Rhinos.
I think it's genius. Honestly, I think it's genius. And like going along sort of like picking up sea anemones and going and just lobbing them into the sea.
Well, what do you think about MTV doing that? And then I just, in between the bits,
Play music
I
videos?
play music
That
related
relates
to
to it.
fish, so I could play like fish,
Yeah.
like Rock Guy, or the animals,
Rock lobster.
yeah, or what else could
This
we get
could
in
run
there?
and run.
What other songs have got animals in them? The
Well,
monkeys, could play the monkeys.
Yeah, there's about 1 million, so let's not start this.
No,
Yeah,
but, do you know what I mean?
So do we need this?
So MTV
Carpet-
flies you around the world
And
to
you-
the most incredible exotic locations. You sort of climb up a tree or whatever next to, I don't know what lives up a tree, some kind of rare parrot. You say, look
Sloth.
at that, it's colourful,
Sloth.
it's interesting.
Oh, you like sloths, don't you?
No, they just live up trees, but I'd say, do we need them?
Why?
Well, what do they do?
What do you mean? What do they do? What do you want from an animal? Carpentry. What
Well,
do you
like,
want?
I don't like scorpions, right?
Right.
But then I found out they look after those monkey things.
They're not monkeys, they're
Whatever.
lizards.
Well, alright, yeah, them lizards, they look after the lizards.
Look at
So
them.
there's a reason.
But do you need the lizard? Could be your
Well,
next
yeah,
question.
because the local people made shoes out of them.
But not when the scorpion protected them, they didn't.
Alright, we don't need them then.
So ultimately, would anyone decide? I mean, do the animals kind of get a chance to mount a case for their survival? I mean, is there maybe someone that comes into their corner and sort of defends them?
I'd have like a David Attenborough type character who says, well, they do this, and I'll go, yeah, but do we need that doing?
Yeah. Okay. So what does an animal need to do in order for you to feel that it sort of gets a chance of life? I mean, like a pet, like an animal, like a dog maybe, or a cat, I mean, they give a certain affection to its owner. Is that a valid reason to survive? Not particularly for you.
Not really.
No, okay.
I've been saying that though, blind people use dogs, so they are useful.
So dogs are useful. Same
Farmers
burners,
use
they
dogs.
often save people, don't they, in snowy weather?
Cats. I'd have to think about it.
Okay.
Keep the mice down.
Yeah, but you got rent to kill.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is, something that will affect the world.
Right. I think you'll find everything does.
Except Carl. I'm not sure what effect he's having on the world.
I tell you what though, Steve, right? Did you watch the mammals?
I did see the mammals.
They had bison on it.
Right.
The weirdest looking things you've ever seen.
Yeah.
They've really
Again, you're on dangerous ground here, Carl.
but they've really got it's like, decide what you want to look like. It's just a mismatch of stuff. It's got a really big hairy head.
Yeah.
And like you.
Sort of bald at the back.
Right.
Sort of
It's like someone you went to school with.
Was there two of them? Oh, brilliant.
From the album Original Pirate Material, it's obviously The Streets, and an album track from that, It's Too Late. Fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know everyone's raving about it being, you know, one of the albums of the year, but it is, I think.
It's great. That's brilliant. I love the backing as well. It's just so good. The lyrics, the things you go, they're my favourite band of the year. Next week then, we'll do all our favourite songs of the year, shall we?
No, I think it's got to be 2 weeks' time, hasn't it?
2 weeks, is it?
Yeah,
We'll do
I'm
the
away
Christmas
next week as well.
What do you mean you're away next week? What are you doing? Zoe Ball show?
I'm going up north again.
Why?
So Claire's going to be here with you.
Okay. Yeah, at least
What are you doing up north?
she does her job.
Just Suzanne's dad's birthday. So
I bet he's a party animal. I've heard that they really kick off, don't they? Is it? Yeah. When?
so
You gonna be raving?
can't concentrate now.
Oh, well, he's all stressed because the lady from MTV's here. She's going to film his little face.
So
the
what-
the things he said in the week, he was so worried. He's got worried about the spot on his head. That won't come out. Just you got your best side.
He's on that side. That's all right.
Yeah, the camera's out. Look, he's getting nervous now. Okay, Carl. Wu-Tang Clan, Gravel Pit on XFM 104.9.
We're playing some great music today.
Yeah,
Rick. I wonder if we should maybe, you know, it's getting towards Christmas, to think about others. Should we dedicate the show to all the people in the world who maybe are less privileged and less fortunate than us?
No.
No? Okay.
Have you to do the prizes for the
Prizes? Okay. Alright, so screw those who are less fortunate, is what TV's Ricky Gervais thinks. Rick, I know you're a big fan of the likes of Bryan Adams, Robert Palmer, Alien, Ant Farm, and obviously ZZ Top.
Yeah.
And so you'll be enjoying the best air guitar album in the world
Brilliant.
ever, Volume 2.
Yeah, sure.
Fantastic.
Well, Volume 1 wasn't enough. There wasn't
No,
enough.
exactly. Again, we've seemed to be able to give one of these away every week. Are you just not sending these out? I mean, these are the same prizes we started this game with, I think, a couple of weeks back. Are you just not sending the prizes out?
Yeah, but I want to give like more people a chance, because if 1 week they listen in and think, God, I wouldn't mind winning that.
Sure.
If you've got more copies of it, they'll go, well, I'll listen next week.
Okay.
Yeah?
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So again, this is one of those, the best songs you've heard on an advert ever albums.
Mainly mobile phones?
Mainly mobile phone adverts, yeah, although there is the Smash Mouth one, which is used in the Ford Fiesta TV.
Oh, yeah. Walking on the sun or something.
I forget what it is. The Smashing Pumpkins album that we've given away in the past again,
Yeah.
I've got a bulk order of those that can't shift them. Wild Weather, I don't know who's interested in this. This
What,
is,
is that a double box set VHS of different weather?
it appears
That's
to be, yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, there's
That is
two
amazing.
cassette tapes there. It's presented
How long is
by
that?
Donna McIntyre. It's a thrilling trip with the most exciting forces of our wild and turbulent world.
So I'm
Clouds,
right in
weather,
saying
storms.
it's a double VHS
Stuff like
video
tornadoes
set
and that.
of different weather.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Yeah, no, it's got, I mean, it includes the fastest winds, the
Oh,
hottest
you're
desert, and the biggest rain machine on the planet. That's on there, I think you have to...
God. I wonder if I heard they're bringing out another box set, Soil.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just goes through different mud.
And this you may be of interest. I've read good reviews of the DVD of this. It's a 2-disc set. The Wicker Man,
Oh,
the classic
right, a
70s
great
film,
film,
but
yeah.
it's got a bunch of extras
That
in
is
there.
actually quite a
that's
good
actually
film.
worth having. I would probably throw the rest away.
But
or
the
palm
Wicker
it
Man,
off
get it on
someone at
DVD,
Christmas.
and it's quite very interesting.
Yeah, but you'll enjoy that.
So
what
what this Rockbusters, is it?
Yeah, all that's for Rockbusters.
Brilliant. Well, I say get the ball rolling now.
What, of Rockbusters?
Yeah, get the ball
I don't
rolling.
know. I mean, tease them, Rick. Don't sort of spunk all the good stuff early on. I mean, that's dynamite.
you can say spunk. I can't. Go on. then.
Well, we've got, actually it's quite good moving it about, because we might have some new listeners here.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought so.
Yeah. Not after last week.
No.
Right, okay, so if you haven't heard it before, I'll give you some initials. It's like initials of an artist or of a
It's
band.
Blockbusters.
And a cryptic clue to who the band is. There's 2 easy ones, 1 difficult one. First one is, That'll Never Get Off the Ground.
Right.
Yeah?
That'll never get off the ground. The
That'll
initial?
Never Get Off the Ground is the clue.
Not
and
LZ.
The initials are LZ.
You are joking.
2 easy ones.
Right.
Yeah?
Okay.
Right, and then you've got, that woman's got her husband's gloves and a pair of her own. Right?
Say it again.
That woman has got a pair of her husband's gloves and she's got a pair of her own. That's HH. Right? It's a bit of a difficult one. And then the last one, you'll get a right load of bacon off them. Right?
You'll get what?
A right load of bacon off them. That's L.
L.
Yeah, so once
You'll
again,
get a
very
right
quickly,
load of bacon off of them.
you'll get a right load of bacon off them. So first one, That'll Never Get Off the Ground, LZ. That woman has got her husband's gloves and she's got a pair of her own. That's HH.
Brilliant.
And you'll get a right load of bacon off them. That's L.
And it's
So,
an email only competition.
Email only. ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk, and we pick a winner before the end. So
And you
You
can
can
win
win
that
that.
stuff.
Win that Wicker Man.
The weather.
Best of
video.
the weather.
The best of the weather. That would be amazing. The best of the weather.
As a compilation, Channel
Yeah,
4.
Exactly.
That'd be-
Winds light to variable.
I love 1976
Remember this
weather.
one from August 1979?
Oh, warm, isn't it? Oh, this is warm, isn't it? Oh,
best of the
Carl.
weather.
I'll tell you what. You remember how we always play like great music, usually? I'm up
You've
in
not
it.
got another, you're not got another one, have you? You're
Yeah, I'm
not
gonna do
that
it.
again this week, are you?
Yeah. This is David Bowie driving Saturday.
Oh, you've done it again. What? I'm in the same problem.
I know, beating a biscuit.
Yeah.
David Bowie driving Saturday. That's a great track, isn't it? A crash course for the ravers, eh? That's what this show is, isn't it, Carl? Crash course for the ravers. They tune and they go, wow, that's so cool. I wish I was like Karl Pilkington.
you reckon?
Yeah, definitely. You've got to read your mum's clues out, didn't you?
Yeah,
These
she's
are just for fun only. This is Carl's mum. She listened one week and now she sends him a little example of Rockbusters every week.
She's got, what did she send? This group would go well with your Christmas dinner.
Cranberries?
Yeah. They make a few good cupboards.
They make a few good cupboards.
Yeah.
The carpenters.
Carpenters. I was thinking of EMF.
Yeah.
What else?
I was thinking B&Q. The B&Qs.
This group thinks of lots of things.
This group thinks of lots of things.
Yeah.
Go on.
Imagination. I think they're the best ones.
Yeah,
Well, they're the best ones. Let's hear the others.
Obviously, we want the worst ones then.
Here's one more. She'd really like Blackpool.
She'd really like Blackpool. She'd really
on.
like Blackpool.
Fairground attraction. Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Right. So there's
Does she write anything else in the letter, or does she just send them like on a scrawled on the back of, you know, I don't know, a till receipt?
She did with the first
Quick
one.
save.
Now it's just the Rockbusters.
Right.
really.
She doesn't bother asking how you are, or
Well, I speak to her in a week on the
Right.
phone, so it doesn't-
what kind of conversations would you have then with your
What do you
sort of
say?
stuff?
Do you moan about how overworked you are and stuff to her?
I mean, they're always surprised when I'm getting in late and that. It's like, you know, what have you done today? Well, I've just got in from work and it's like 8:30 at night.
A lot of people get home at 8:30, Carl. Next.
You know, just saying how's the flat going. I was
Yeah.
asking my dad some DIY tips the other day. You know, usual sort of stuff you talk with your mum and dad, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking about the bisons with them. I was
With the
watching, did you watch The Mammals in the week?
Oh, I missed
David
it.
Attenborough.
No.
I was thinking actually, right, all this MTV stuff, if there's one reason why I'd like to do it,
Yeah.
is I was watching Attenborough, the Mammals programme. I reckon I could do something like that.
Right. Right.
And just have like me, instead of Attenborough, like a young sort of fresh person,
Yeah.
watching like, certain animals and saying do we need these? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh God! What's going to be death on earth?
Well, just-
That's amazing. Do we need these?
And,
No, 'cause there's loads of
and the
stuff.
audience at home would vote. Would there be some kind of
Yeah,
telephone
like a
vote?
vote out system.
Oh,
But the
that-
thing is like,
yeah.
it's something interesting that Attenborough was saying the other night on
Do we need these?
on Jonathan Ross's show, on his telly show, right? He was saying, he said you could take all the humans off the earth and it would carry on, but take like some animals off it, mammals and that, you got problems on your hands. I thought that was quite interesting.
Yeah.
So it's like the question is, do we need these? Is that part of the big thing?
Right.
Like jellyfish.
Yeah.
We've talked about jellyfish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So which mammals in particular were
You talked about it on
watching that
Zoe
you
Ball
thought-
show, haven't you?
Hey?
Which mammals were you thinking we don't need when you watched the show the other night? Any in particular that you thought they don't need them? They're not of interest.
Well, I like whales, but I don't know what they do. And they're taking up quite a lot of room.
Sure.
But stuff like,
yeah.
but like, jellyfish, I looked into because,
Yeah.
you know,
well,
I was
know you
talking
don't
about
know,
them, and they were saying they've got no eyes, no heart, there's something like 97% water,
Yeah.
they're blind, and they do about 33 miles a day.
Right.
So it's like, do we need them? Could we clear them out?
Yeah.
Yeah. What? A big net.
That would be the programme. What, right, we'll get rid of them. Next week, we'll be looking at,
Rhinos.
I think it's genius. Honestly, I think it's genius. And like going along sort of like picking up sea anemones and going and just lobbing them into the sea.
well, what do you think about MTV doing that? And then I just, in between the bits,
Play music
I
videos?
play music
That
related
relates
to
to it.
fish, so I could play like fish,
Yeah.
like Rock Guy, or the
Rock-
animals,
Rock lobster.
yeah, or what else could
This
we get
could
in
run
there?
and run.
What other songs have got animals in them? The
Well,
monkeys, could play the monkeys.
Yeah, there's about 1 million, so let's not start this.
No,
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
do you know what
Yeah.
I mean?
So do we need this?
So MTV
Carpet-
flies you around the world
And
to
you-
the most incredible exotic locations. You sort of climb up a tree or whatever next to, I don't know what lives up a tree, some kind of rare parrot. You say, look
Sloth.
at that, it's colourful,
Sloth.
it's interesting.
Oh, you like sloths, don't you?
no, they just live up trees, but I'd say, do we need them?
Why?
Well, what do they do?
What do you mean? What do they do? What do you want from an animal? Carpentry. What
Well,
do you
like,
want?
I don't like scorpions, right?
Right.
But then I found out they look after those monkey things.
They're not monkeys, they're
Whatever.
lizards.
Well, alright, yeah, them lizards, they look after the lizards. So there's a reason.
But do you need the lizard? Could be your
Well,
next
yeah,
question.
because the local people made shoes out of them.
But not when the scorpion protected them, they didn't.
Alright, we don't need them then.
Okay. So, and so ultimately, would anyone decide? I mean, do the animals kind of get a chance to mount a case for their survival? I mean, is there maybe someone that comes into their corner and sort of defends them?
I'd have like a David Attenborough type character who says,
Right.
well, they do this, and I'll go, yeah, but do we need that doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what does an animal need to do in order for you to feel that it sort of gets a chance of life? I mean, like a pet, like an animal, like a dog maybe, or a cat, I mean, they give a certain affection to its owner. Is that a valid, reason to survive? Not particularly for you.
Not really.
No,
I've
okay.
been saying that, though, blind people use dogs, so they are useful.
So dogs are useful. St.
Farmers
Bernards,
use
they often
dogs.
save people, don't they, in
Yeah.
snowy weather?
Cats. I'd have to think about it.
Okay.
Keep the mice down.
Yeah, but you got rent-a-kill.
Okay.
What I'm saying is something that will affect the world.
Right. I think you'll find everything does. I think you'll find everything does.
Except Carl. I'm not sure what effect he's having on the world.
I tell you what, though, Steve. Right? Did you watch the mammals?
I did see the mammals.
They had bison on it.
Right.
The weirdest looking things you've ever seen.
Yeah.
They've really
Again, you're on dangerous ground here,
no,
Carl.
but they've really got a. It's like decide what you want to look like. It's just a mismatch of stuff. It's got a really big airy head,
Yeah.
Unlike you.
sort of bald at the back,
Right.
sort of
It sounds like
thinner.
someone you went to school with.
Was there two of them? Oh, brilliant.